This is Torah Nation TV from Jerusalem, and we are speaking with the head of Machon Shilo, Rabbi David Bar-Hayim. Shalom, Rabbi Bar-Hayim.
Shalom.
Violence erupted at the Western Wall recently as a result of Haredim clashing with women of the wall while donning talit and tefillin. What is the halakha regarding this issue?
The Haredi claim that women may not pray whilst wearing talit and tefillin is incorrect. It is agreed to by all halachic authorities, all the Rishonim who discuss this issue, the medieval halachic decisors and sages. It is agreed to by all that women may perform all of the mitzvot in the Torah, including mitzvot such as wearing tzitzit or wearing tefillin, etc., or for that matter, hearing the shofar on Rosh Hashanah, or doing the tilat lulav on Sukkot, etc., etc., as is the common practice. The only discussion amongst the Rishonim is whether a woman who chooses to do a mitzvah which she is not required to do, such as those we just mentioned, whether she is allowed to make a bracha on that mitzvah. In other words, when a woman does netilat lulav on Sukkot, does she make a bracha first, yes or no? This question also applies to something now like counting the Omer, Sfirat HaOmer. And this also applies to the question of wearing a talit with tzitzit or wearing tefillin. The common position amongst Sfaradi rabbis is that women should not make such a bracha, and the common position amongst Ashkenazi rabbis is that they may do so. The former opinion that they may not is the view of the Rambam. The latter opinion that they may is the view of Rabbeinu Tam. Rav Tzvi Yehuda Kook, the son of Rav Kook, explained very correctly, in my view, the position of Rabbeinu Tam that women may make such a bracha. He explained that the bracha that we say, Asher Kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu, referring to the mitzvot being given to the Jewish people as a nation, in the plural, Asher Kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu, does not refer to any individual, it refers to the Jewish nation. And the Jewish women are, of course, part of the Jewish nation. And the Jewish nation received and was sanctified by those mitzvot. And therefore, they may make such a bracha, because the statement that we were given these mitzvot and we are part of the Jewish people who received this mitzvot is entirely true. And this explanation has always appealed to me.
So are we to understand that the Rav has no problem with women of the wall?
Here, of course, we come to the crux of the matter. These people who like to make out that all they're interested in is the rights of women to pray with talit and tefillin, that their issue is religious freedom, are of course being dishonest. They have an agenda. They are hiding that agenda in order to beguile and deceive. But they have an agenda, and it is very insidious. That agenda includes homosexual rights, same-sex marriage, and other types of ideas and notions which are clearly opposed to Torah Judaism. For example, you would be hard put to find amongst these so-called women of the wall someone who is opposed to the so-called Palestinian people having a state. I'm sure that almost to a woman, they and their male supporters, almost to a man, are of the opinion that there is such a thing as a Palestinian people, which of course is not true, and that they are of course entitled to a state. In other words, we're talking about a group which is hardcore left-wing, hardcore liberal, and anti-Torah Judaism. I do not deny, and I do not doubt, that some of these people do in fact have sincere religious feelings and wish to express those feelings, and I, of course, am in no way opposed to that. And that is why I explained before that I have no problem with women wearing a talit or putting on tefillin. These actions, which are mitzvot according to the Torah, are part and parcel of Torah Judaism, and according to Torah Judaism, women may do these things. And I also expressed my view that they may make a bracha. But that's not the issue. The real issue is, why do these people hide their other positions, the other aspects of their agenda? And here the Haredim are onto something. They're not making a very good point of explaining to the wider public why they oppose this group of women who come to pray at the Kotel, but that is the fact. They are in fact onto something. If, for example, the women of the wall and their supporters were truly in favor of religious freedom, as they claim, why is it that we do not hear that they are for the rights of Jews to pray on Har HaBayit, on the Temple Mount? Is the Temple Mount not an area which in some way is related to and connected to Judaism? Is that not a place where Jews should have the right to pray with freedom and without being molested, as they claim for themselves that right? But the fact is, we do not hear them say any such thing, because they are totally opposed to that. Their view of Judaism, their vision of Judaism, is a very warped and pernicious version of Judaism. They speak in terms of the classic leftist lexicon. They speak of rights and freedoms rather than in terms of duties, obligations, what is right, what is wrong, what is proper, what is improper. They like to invoke the Torah to support some of their claims, but we all know that they are very picky when it comes to what parts of the Torah they wish to accept. The Torah, of course, is totally opposed to homosexuality, to same-sex marriages, and many other parts of their agenda, and yet they simply ignore those facts. In other words, we're talking about a group which essentially is just another manifestation of classic Reform Judaism, which is simply another way of saying, we will make our own rules, we will decide what we like and what we think is right, and we will paint that with our own paintbrush in some quasi-Jewish hue, and this you must accept as a legitimate expression of Judaism. And this we cannot accept and must not accept. We have to stress that, first of all, Judaism is not about the individual and the individual's rights. Judaism is first of all about Hashem, the giver of the Torah, and Hashem's will and Hashem's purpose in the world, and that purpose is manifested in the world by a Jewish nation, not by a Jewish individual. Therefore, the rights of the individual are not the paramount concern of Torah Judaism, despite what people of other persuasions and of other ideologies may claim. Torah Judaism is first of all about the will of Hashem, as it is expressed in the Torah. Judaism is about the success, the survival, and the impact of the Jewish people on the world. And only through that Jewish nation can the will of Hashem become clear and manifest in the world. And therefore, rights and privileges, freedoms of the individual, which are not related to that agenda, the true agenda of the Torah, are not important issues in the eyes of Torah Judaism. It is well known that a few generations ago, in the realm of communist organizations that were trying to advocate and promote communist agendas, they always used terms like peace and equality, freedom, etc. These are the catchwords of the hardcore left, always have been and always will be. And therefore it is no surprise that today these same people who claim the right to pray at the kotel with talit and tefillin, which happens to be entirely true and permissible according to the Torah, are in fact doing this, at least partly, in order to promote another and much more problematic agenda. And so therefore our response must be clear and forthright. We must say there is nothing wrong with a Jew, male or female, wearing tefillin, wearing a talit and praying to Hashem. That in fact is a wonderful thing, and all Jews should be engaged in such activities. But if you expect us to be naive and to pretend that we do not know that for you this is just part of a smokescreen in order to beguile, deceive, and screen your true intentions, then no, we are putting you on notice that we know what you are about, and we oppose all those ideas and notions which are not truly rooted in the eternal values and principles of Torah Judaism.
Thank you, Rabbi Bar-Hayim. A word to our viewers. If you would like to sponsor or dedicate a video interview with Rabbi Bar-Hayim in honor or memory of a loved one, or if you would like to order a Birkon Nusach Eretz Yisrael, please email us at office@machonshilo.org.